Mate, I'm at the National Motor Museum, and I've actually never been here, which sounds like a disgrace considering I'm South Aussie, but mate, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, whoop whoops, hey. Bit of a drive even for the city, but doesn't matter, I'm here, and right out the gates, mate, full-size Lego Camry. Apparently it's a hybrid. I mean, I'd get a lift home in the backseat in this one any day, mate. It's even got working lights. Whoa, it's the big pollute bullet, mate. Amazing how a 1-litre Yamaha engine can get you up to 550 kilometers an hour. These old Bugattis are so precious and rare and just casually a V-run. I've never actually seen one of these in person, mate. I'm a country kid. And I gotta say, they're actually a little bit smaller than they thought they'd be. It's just mostly engine and then 2 seats. And mate, this is paintwork, not a lick of orange peel to be found. Like, even Ferraris have stinking orange peel. Like, this is how it's meant to be. The first ever production car, and mate, she's a Benz. Now, that's what I call a bench seat, mate. Put that in Jeffy any day. And let's all just be glad that steering wheels don't look like this anymore. Stinking tiller. But I mean, we got to bring these horns back, mate. I'd want road rage with that. Now, mate, back in the 1930s, if you want to show your prestige, mate, and just proof that you owned half the street, mate, you rolled around one of these things. Yeah, mate, proof that the combustion engine is ancient, mate. Try crank starting this thing, it'd rip you in half if it kicked back on you. Oh, it's the production cars from Holden when they shut down. It's the ones that they didn't finish. Oh, mate, that one's got Chevy badges on it. Oh, that was gonna be a police car more likely. There's an unfinished Brucey as well. Oh, I'm gonna start tearing up, mate. Oh no, and like all the factory people even signed it and everything. I'm starting to tear up. Oh no, here it comes. For now, this is 70s Aussie's muscle car, mate. You can keep your Roadrunner because we've got the stinking Subaru. Look, there's a Joey in the pouch and everything. Oh, the old Holden logo, mate. That's how I know her. And this is like the first ever Holden. Like the first ever Holden. What a sweetie, hey, mate. That's where she all begun. You can see, mate, we jumped onto the utes pretty stinking quickly. And then you like a lot of Holden stuff. Like, it looks a lot like other GM stuff, which makes sense. You know, they're all sharing bits and whatnot. Especially the first ever combo, mate. This thing is basically just an Opel. That's a VC. I had one. My dad had one. Oh, such memories in these. And then, you know, that's basically an Opel again. And ironically, the last two being the most Aussie. Oh, I miss you, Holden. Holden Monaro, mate. This is such an iconic car around here, mate. I get excited anytime I see one of them. Mate, speaking of the car, look, the car. This is a VC combo. This was my childhood. That's my dad yelling at us. Like, shut up, you kids back there. Oh, more iconic Aussie cars, mate. Look, it's the car phone. Like, they actually plugged this in at events back in the 80s, and then, like, you could just call anyone in Australia. And then next to the car phone is this absolute beauty, mate, XF Falcon. My panel van was an XF, very warm to it. I'd almost trade the panel van for this, but I don't know, panel vans, mate. It's the Prime Minister's Holden Calais. His armoured 5-litre V8 Calais. Look, it's got the flagpole on it, mate. It's like Kevlar lined. It can handle an explosion or something. Mate, Paul Keating sat in this car. Paul Keating probably had sausage roll farts in this baby. Oh, panel van! That's a panel van, mate. She's a ute with a full canopy built into the chassis where you can just hop into the back. So sad that they got rid of these. Oh, this is the concept. They should have done it. Oh, such a great looking car. I don't care if it looks like a hearse. I love it. The Holden red motor, mate. This goes back to the beginning with the grey motor. And yes, these only went away with the VL Commodore. Holden 3.8 litre V6. This is just a Buick V6, mate. Yes, they're reliable and they get decent power and fuel economy, but gosh, they're so rough that you kind of wish that they didn't. The Holden Monaro concept from 98. Mate, this is one of my favorite car shapes ever. I know these got released as Pontiacs in the States, mate, but I didn't like the grille. The original Monaro, mate, I'm all in on it. And they've got the Maryland here, mate, the stinking convertible one. They should have done it. It was in the bag, mate. The Tirana concept, which basically became the VE Commodore. That's so neat, mainly because this is a liftback. This is how they should have done it. That's such a great idea. Oh, and I weep a tear actually being in the presence of this one, the Coupe 60. This is what the Monaro would look like if they actually did a last Monaro based on like the last combos, mate. Oh, you should have done it. It's the Effigy, or however it's said, mate. This is like a genuine Holden hot rod based on like the first ever Holden, but fully modern. Man, this thing just looks stunning. The Holden Hurricane. Yo, 1960s concept car with a reversing camera, a rear vision camera with a CRT in the front. This is so neat with the canopy that lifts off and lowers down on you. And I'm so jealous that Donut got to have a go in it, and it kind of crushed me to see just how small it actually is inside of there. Oh well. GTRX Tirana concept. This was meant to be a car. I believe it's fiberglass body. Like they saw the writing on the wall. People wanted small, cool little sports cars. Oh, it pains me that we can't have these as secondhand cars. The way the stripe leads into the rear tail lights. Such a cool car, Holden. A Holden 6-cylinder drag car. It pulled 11s with a 155 cubic inch little 6. That's cute. The party can officially begin. Magnus spotted. The Magnus here, everybody. Get your oil out the boot, mate, because you're gonna need it. Oh, cars made at Tonsley Park. I passed that on the fuel runs. Look, and someone's already scuffed the stinking wheel. That's how you know she's a Magna, mate. Oh, Tonsley Park represent. Those old Magnums were good, mate. Me and James had one of these, and these were the smoke blowers. Like, good-looking cars, but God, I can't believe we exported one of these. And it's the crash test one, mate. See, Diamante, that's what they're called overseas, but here they're called Magnus, mate. And that's a 380, which basically just binge manufacturing for Mitsubishi here in Australia. This is not what people wanted. People did not want a big front-wheel drive sedan. That's a get. That's a Hyundai gets. This party's getting nuts. Oh, the EV1, like the first commercial production electric car. It got squashed. The politics is messy. These should have hung around. These were cool. I would love to have one and dork about. It looks weird, and that's what I love about it. And like Prius is iconic, like the whole hybrid thing. But my gosh, is the first gen Prius fugly. Actually, speaking of fugly, mate, this takes the cake. That is just the grossest face I've ever seen on a car. Motorbikes, mate. I'm a huge motorbike dude. Oh, I'd love an Indian. I don't have millions of dollars. And I'm a big Harley dude. Like, people just groan that I'm a Harley dude, but mate, they've been around since the petrol engine's birth. The birthplace of getting around with petrol, mate. I love me Harleys. Ooh, V-twins. Gosh, I gotta get me a gold wing. And whatever this electric nugget thing is, apparently was road legal at one stage. And mate, every dad around town wish they had this in their back shed. They wouldn't go to work anymore. They'd spend every day with Skeletrics. Big vans are everywhere in North America. They're not here. I wish I had one of these. Man, the amount of gigs I can do with them. And easily the most desolate nugget I've ever seen that has some element of style. I mean, there's fins and a bonnet scoop, but it is the most Dorcas-Morcus thing I've ever seen. Whoa, a Mad Max film prop from the 80s? That's mad. That's mad to the max. And this was actually a mini event. Like, they had all these crazy minis here. Like this like weird aerodynamic one with these like fins on it. And a mini that actually raced at Bathurst for realsies back in the day. And I didn't know they did like coupe minis. They look stinking neat. I can't look at the regular ones anymore, actually. And then there's ones with like adorable little boots and like funny looking smudgy faces. But by far the greatest thing that I took from this day is this car pen. Vroom vroom.